Ozempic. It can be the best of things and it can be the worst of things. If you have type 2 diabetes or you are obese, you may be prescribed a weekly injection called Ozempic. I'm here to explain to you the good and the bad and the in-betweens. Ozempic is a controversial drug because in the States it's being used more and more frequently as a weight loss injection, and you can lose 20 to 40% of your body weight. So if you are contemplating bariatric surgery, but for some reason, health reasons probably, you can't go under anesthetic, then doctors may prescribe Ozempic to you. Hi, I'm Denise. This is Travels in My Chair. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Ozempic and why, after being on it a year, I went off. Ozempic is a weekly injectable drug. It's expensive, and it took a long time before it got approved by our pharmacare so that my doctor could prescribe it to me. And unfortunately, the timing couldn't have been worse. I just finished last year having radiation. I was very tired. I was also getting put on a chemotherapy drug called Ibrance, which was just wiping me out. And then all of a sudden I get the phone call from the pharmacy, "Oh, your Ozempic is in." Ozempic. I have never hated or loved a drug so much in my life. For me, once I started on Ozempic, I wasn't able to eat. And you know, in my past videos, I have waxed on poetic about my inability to eat and how it's upset me so badly. The good news about that is I did lose 20 pounds. The bad news is I didn't want to lose any more than that. My face is getting too long and wrinkly, and I don't want to drop any more weight. So I'm going to read a little bit of this because I've been doing some research lately about Ozempic. It's not a drug that's being designed primarily as a weight loss drug. And I believe, and this is just my opinion, that it's being misused. It was designed to work with type 2 diabetes. So Ozempic works by binding GLP-1 receptors and stimulates insulin release from the pancreas when you need it. So I guess in layman's terms that would be leveling off your blood sugars, right? It helps lower your blood sugars and reduce the amount of sugar released by your liver, and helps slow down food leaving your stomach. So you are digesting the food more slowly, and it's releasing itself at a more steadier pace so that you don't have the sugar spikes. So GLP/1RA is a glucagon, I'm probably saying that wrong, like peptide, and it's a hormone, and it has multiple actions on glucose medicated by these receptors that I just said. You have to have your pancreas working in order for this drug to work. So that's why it's not good for type 1 diabetes where you're on insulin, or if you are on insulin. This drug is designed as a long-term drug, and I was on it for a year, just about to the date. So because the drug lowers your blood sugars, it can also help reduce the chances of cardiovascular disease. But when you're on this drug, you must keep vigilant because every drug that you take comes with side effects. and some of the side effects can be thyroid tumors. So just keep checking around your neck, even your armpits if you've had breast cancer like me. Just check for unwanted lumps. Keep in touch with your doctor regularly. So here's the reasons why you shouldn't take Ozempic. If you have trouble with your kidneys, your pancreas, diabetic retinopathy, don't take it. And of course, as I mentioned before, if you have type 1 diabetes, don't take it. You're not able to eat sugar or high glucose foods. You will find that it's helping slow down your liver, and it's slowing down the food that's leaving your stomach. So by doing so, what happens is that you actually feel fuller quicker. Yippee, you might say. What a great way to lose weight. Yippee indeed. Let me just tell you how it's been for me, and maybe some of you on Ozempic can relate. I never felt nauseous. I never felt like I would throw up. I never had trouble swallowing, which my oncologist asked me about lots. Was the smell of any food cooking, and that meant especially coffee, oatmeal, red meat, but hey, even green beans steaming. I couldn't handle it. He cooked salmon one night, and I literally 3 bites. I think I had about equivalent of about a teaspoonful of rice, wild rice, and I had a tiny bit of salad, and that was it. In the morning, I could eat a piece of whole wheat toast with nut butter on it and a pear or an apple, maybe a small cup of coffee, and that was the only coffee I could drink all day. I didn't eat the rest of the day until supper time, and if I did eat in the afternoon, that was it. I couldn't eat dinner. So sometimes in the afternoon I'd have like a Boost or an Ensure or a smoothie with some protein powder, because one of the problems that I was having was I was not getting enough protein into my system, or fiber for that matter, both so important. So the possible side effects from being on Ozempic are tiredness, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, and these should lessen over a period of time. They didn't for me. I struggled with a combination of constipation and then diarrhea, and I had no control of which was going to happen. I could eat nothing with sugar in it. And when I say I couldn't eat it, I mean I tried to have a little piece of cheesecake one day, and the sweetness of the cheesecake, I thought I was going to throw up. So that's good, right? If you're on metformin or on Ozempic because you have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, for you not to be able to eat sugar is a great thing. And it is a great thing, okay? I don't want to take away from that, because for the first time in 10 years, my A1C, when I went in for my every 3-month blood work, was at 7.1. And I'm 71 years old, and that's exactly where the doctor wanted it to be. So hallelujah. But the year to get to that was hell. And it got to the point where it was getting worse. So during this past year, like I say, I've lost 20 pounds, which is great. But what I had to go through to lose that 20 pounds, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I'm sorry, Ozempic, but I couldn't eat. Poor Alan was trying everything. When at first I did a video because we could do wonton soup, or I could eat Thai food, or he could make me a stir fry, a vegetable stir fry. And near the end, near that at the latter part of that year, and I never did go up to a higher dosage than the lowest dosage, I was not hardly able to eat anything. And I literally would feel hungry. The food would be put in front of me, and I would look at it, and I couldn't eat it. My brain told my mouth, no. And no, it was. So when I talked to my oncologist, I said, I'm really worried. I've lost 20 pounds and I don't want to lose any more because I'm going to get too skinny in my face. Not in my stomach, where I'd love to lose it, but anyway. Legs are getting skinnier, arms are getting skinnier. And she got hold of my doctor. And at the Labor Day long weekend, I get a phone call from my doctor. I said, what are you doing working? He goes, well, I had an email from your oncologist, and Denise, I want to talk to you about this Ozempic. He said, Ozempic is designed to curb your appetite. It's designed so that you eat less, and therefore you're going to lose weight. But he said it was never, ever designed for you to have an aversion to food in general. That is not its purpose, and I want you to go off it immediately. I didn't go off Ozempic one day and the next day start wolfing down food. But I did start feeling hungry when I didn't have food in me. I still can't eat a ton of food, but I can eat more, and I can eat regularly. It's been a month now since I've been off it, and slowly getting back to semi-normal. And I'm saying semi-normal because I still can't eat sugar, which is a good thing. Like, I can have a little bit, but If you're on Ozempic, please be careful. Keep a close eye on everything. I keep a day planner right by my phone, and I want to stay as healthy as I can while I'm fighting the cancer. The MS and the diabetes, I would prefer not to even think about. My focus is staying alive. I still am better off with raw food. And one of the suggestions I got from the cancer nutritionist was, if you're not getting enough protein, to eat Greek plain yogurt will give you protein, a handful of nuts, a pear or an apple will give you fiber. And if that makes your system happier while you are on Ozempic, then do that. And she also suggested that if I wasn't able to eat, then to start eating little bits like that every couple of hours, and also to make a smoothie with a protein powder in it, because for sure I wasn't getting enough protein. Like, I know I wasn't getting enough of everything. She also suggested, while I was on the Ozempic and having problems eating, to take supplements. And she said just to really watch myself and be really aware of what my body's telling me. And that's why I went off Ozempic, because my body told me it had had enough. It needed a break from this drug. You might need a break from it too. Be really honest with yourself, okay? So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I really would like to get my subscription numbers up, but you know, sometimes it's like, who wants to listen to boring old broad talking? I get it. And I'm happy that you've joined me today. I know this isn't about cancer, and I understand that Ozempic may not be a drug that you even care about at all, but you may know someone who does, who could benefit from Ozempic, or who has type 2 diabetes. You know, maybe share this video with them. And like I say, please subscribe if you haven't already, because every little one counts. And I do appreciate every single one of you, you know that. Thank you for joining me every 2 weeks, and see you in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.